Do you like coffee? Because you're on the right video, if so. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a tier list of the best coffee methods. I was a barista. I am a snobby coffee freak. I'm so snobby, it's kind of borderline autistic. I know my shit. Trust me. This is Nathan Carpenter, Cornish Gamer, or whatever it is, and we're gonna get right into this tier list. And we're gonna start off with bad. So with bad, I'm putting instant coffee in bad. And I'm not gonna lie, I do drink instant coffee once in a while. I'll drink it if sorry, that's my fucking Xbox. I'll drink instant coffee if I'm at like a grandparent's house and I don't want to say fuck you, granddad. I'm not drinking that shit. I drink instant coffee. I'm at work and I just don't want to be made fun of for bringing a whole fucking barista kit to work. So I drink it once in a blue moon. I do know what I'm talking about, and I do know it's bad. It is drinkable. Calm down, it's just instant coffee. But no, I do not like it, and I can tell the difference. You can tell the difference, sort of thing. Best way to tell the difference if you ever at like a dodgy cafe is it kind of tastes like hot water fused with coffee, like how tea would taste. But like when you drink tea, it's like you got hot water and it's like flavored tea. That's how instant coffee tastes to someone who likes coffee. Instant coffee, it's not very good. It is what it is. Buy it cheap. Never buy premium instant coffee because premium and instant they clash. They do not work together. That makes no sense. You do not get premium instant coffee. It's all the same, all right? So calm down. Next up, I'm gonna do something mid, and for mid, I'm gonna do the pour over. So pour over is when you got the coffee filter. You can either have paper, metal. It can be a fancy cone. It doesn't have to be a fancy cone. And this is when you pour it over, and you pour I can't speak, sorry. Yeah, so you got some like coffee in the cone and you pour water in and the water will drip through the pour over, it'll drip into your mug and then boom, lovely. As you can see by this image, this image probably explains what I'm saying a lot better. And yeah, I'm gonna put it in mid. So the reason why it's in mid is because it's a bit of effort to be honest, and also you're either wasting a lot of paper filters or you're doing a lot of cleaning if you're using a reusable filter. Another thing is with kettle water, it can be too hot. You can burn the beans, and the biggest reason why it's mid is because you're just kind of standing there like a twat for like 5 minutes because you can't just chuck like all the water in at once because it'll overflow. So you just like slowly pour in your water sort of thing so it doesn't overflow, and it's quite time consuming. Plus it doesn't even give like the best sort of like it doesn't even taste the best. It's not worth the effort of standing there pouring it over. So that's why it's in mid. It's good coffee, but it's something that I wouldn't personally choose to make. Next up, I'm gonna go for I like it, and I'm gonna put the mocha pot up here. So the reason why the mocha pot is up here is because it's good and it's very strong. Like mocha coffee is like a big. It's not a big espresso, but it's probably like a big half espresso. It's probably the best description. Like it's quite strong. However, I do not have a gas stove. I have a conduction hob, and that makes it a lot harder to control the temperature for the mocha pot. And this means that it's a me problem. It's not. It's nothing to do with the mocha pot. I'm sure if I had a gas top, I'm sure if I could control the temperature better, it would be more enjoyable. But for me, it's quite a pain to make a mocha coffee. Maybe if I was going camping, maybe if I was down my back garden or like have a mocha pot if I can't be bothered to like go inside the kitchen. And yeah, it's all right sort of thing. But yeah, and also it does take a lot of coffee sort of thing. Like you will notice that your coffee grounds, your coffee beans just get a vacuum. Like this thing is a big intake sort of thing, and it makes good strong coffee. But it is once again, I like it, but it's not something that I would do every day. Maybe on a weekend if I'm feeling like a fancy snob. Right. So next up is the cold brew, and the reason why cold brew isn't okay for my tiers is because I think there's a better way of making iced drinks, iced coffee, and that's just ice milk espresso. I feel like the cold brew doesn't really serve a purpose for me. And also, I don't like how you need to leave it for like the night or like for a day for the coffee to be infused into the water better. And I know that cold brew is different to espresso iced drinks. However, for me, I don't drink iced coffee. I don't drink cold coffee, only when it's like, I don't know, really hot, like 20 degrees outside or something. Cause, cause like, nah, it's not for me sort of thing. So I understand if people like cold brew, I get that, but it's my tier list and it's going to go into okay. Next up, I got drip coffee, and I'm gonna put drip coffee also into okay. So the difference with pour over and drip coffee is that they're very similar. However, drip coffee is typically with a machine. It's with a machine sort of thing. So you got the basket with the coffee water, which you will pour yourself into a mug, and you got the top basket, which is basically a massive pour over with lots of coffee, and yeah, it's all done by machine. So my nan had one of these. She had a small one, and she'll just keep drinking this like pot every day, sort of thing. She loved it. And my college has like a big one where I drink from it like every day I'm at college. However, the thing is, the basket can sometimes be forgotten about. So the top basket with the coffee, sometimes the basket's not always changed. So you're getting like weaker coffee. And also another thing is it I just don't need one sort of thing. Like it takes up countertop space, and also it's a machine, so I'm gonna need to find a plug socket, but none. How am I gonna air fry my chicken nuggets if I got a fucking coffee dripper trying to take a spot? Like I don't have enough countertop room for a dripper. I don't typically drink coffee anyways, only when I'm at fucking college. So it is good. I understand its purpose, but also it's not for me. I don't have the room all the time for it. And another thing is that top basket for the coffee, that can be a big basket, and that can be a lot of coffee grounds that you're just burning through. Like imagine like you're out all day, you're busy, and then you got a bunch of wet coffee grounds in the top basket, and like it can be wasteful too. Like you need to drink it because it's just gonna drip anyways, sort of thing. So next up, I'm gonna put another item into bad, and this is the only second bad method. Everything else is better than bad. So yeah, the second bad coffee method is coffee pods, pod machine. And the reason why I think pod machines are bad are because one, they're like stale. You can have a coffee pod sitting on a shelf for 2 years, and it'll still be fine to use. It's bad. It's stale. It's not fresh. It's it tastes like instant coffee. Another thing is a lot of pods also have like milk capsules in them, and that milk, once again, like pod capsule milk, it's either really processed or it's powdered milk, and then you're just drinking like powdered milk, and you can taste the difference with like fresh blue milk from like down the road compared to like a fucking coffee pod. And the thing is, I feel like coffee pods are typically just for people that want to think that they like coffee, but they don't actually like coffee. It's quite a lot of like fucking middle-aged cunts. They're like, oh yeah, fuck that instant coffee. We got the fucking coffee pods. It's like, nah, it's just as bad as instant coffee. Also, they can get really expensive. Some of the branded coffee machines, like Nespresso, they can have a milk frother on the side of it attached, or even a fucking coffee steamer, and they can be expensive. And I find it mad that people pay that much money for a fucking coffee frother, a milk frother, and a coffee pod machine. It's They're not worth it, sort of thing. Just buy them separately. Also, like I said, it's bad for the environment and the amount of fucking plastic capsules that there are. Even if you do recycle the coffee capsules, you're still buying the product. It has to be recycled. Just don't buy it. I think the whole idea of pod coffee is just people that don't want to make instant coffee. However, they don't actually care about coffee. I don't like the concept or the idea of pod coffee. Like it's just lazy and expensive. You might as well just buy instant coffee for what you're getting. So yeah, it's in bad. It's the worst kind of coffee I can imagine drinking. And yeah, it's gonna go in there. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna put into mid. I'm gonna put home espresso. And home espresso, it kind of suffers a little bit from the same problems as the pod coffee, and that's that if you are lazy, if you do not know what you're doing, it can be bad. Like if you buy ground coffee and you put it into a handle and you turn the water on for the espresso machine, that coffee hasn't been ground checked, that tamping hasn't been done properly, that espresso is going to be either too bitter strong or it's going to be piss watery. There's a lot of effort and money behind a perfect espresso, and unless you got the time and the money to make a perfect espresso, it's not really worth it in my opinion. And yeah, it's like even if you do have the equipment and the coffee, every bean is different. So sometimes you're gonna need to finely coarse ground your beans to get a good espresso, and other times you're gonna have a more of a coarser grind, and it's just a lot of effort and a lot of time for something that I don't think is worth it. I think there's better home methods of making coffee. If you love espresso, if you know what you're doing, then by all means, fucking espresso is really good. However, I don't think it's worth the money. I think there's better options. Once again, it takes up countertop space, it takes up room. It's just, and once again, if you don't know what you're doing, if you pour a bad shot of coffee, then it's a bad shot of coffee, sort of thing. I think it's not worth the time or the effort or the money. So yeah, for mid tier, I'm putting the home espresso. However, for I like it, I'm putting barista espresso. The reason why I'm putting barista espresso into I like it is because you can always try new beans, new coffee, and typically it should be made right. Sometimes you do get a little shit who's probably off his face from last night, and sometimes not every coffee store's the same. However, that's your own fault for going to a fucking Costa instead of a local business. So yeah, you get me. Like home barista espresso should be made right, and when espresso is made right, it's fucking lovely. It's fucking great. So yeah, I like it. It's for barista coffee. Sorry, fucking barista espresso. Mid is home espresso. Next up, I'm gonna put Greek and Turkish coffee into I like it. The reason why I'm putting Greek and Turkish coffee together is because they are similar methods. So you get this fucking beaker sort of thing. You put the coffee grounds in, you put the sugar in, and for Greek coffee, you would want to boil the beaker to a simmer, and then you pour all the contents into a mug. For Turkish coffee, you would want to boil and you would want to let that coffee simmer multiple times before you serve it. So that way it's a lot stronger and it's a lot more infused. However, with Greek coffee, it is done in one boil, one simmer, and it's a quicker method. I've had Turkish coffee, I've had Istanbul coffee, and I've also had Corfu, like Greek coffee, and I personally love Greek coffee. It's my favorite. Greek Turkish coffee is an F tier. However, the method of making it, I'm putting into I like it. The reason why I'm putting it into I like it instead of S tier is because as delicious and as lovely as Greek coffee is, I have a conduction hob or induction, conduction, whatever it is. I have a conduction hob, and for me, I either make the coffee too weak and it's cold. It's like fucking drinking lukewarm water because I'm too scared to burn the beans. I'm too scared to burn the coffee to the bottom of the beaker. Or I do the opposite and I get the coffee too hot, it burns, I'm drinking bitterness, tastes like I've just fucking burnt some potatoes and now I'm drinking some burnt shit. And also, it can be messy to clean up because once again, I've just burnt everything to the bottom of the fucking beaker because because I have a fucking conduction hob and I have no control over the heat. The heat is either on or the heat is either off. I can't control the flame, you know? So it's a me problem. And for that, I'm putting into I like it. However, the coffee itself, when you're in Greece, when you're in Turkey, the coffee itself is an S tier. I fucking love it. It's beautiful. And then next up, I'm gonna put in OK is the AirPress or the like homemade espresso, and the AirPress is like a portable espresso machine. So you got the coffee grounds, and you got the pump, and you put the water in, and then you pump it. So what doing, you're squeezing all the water through the coffee pod into your drink. So you're basically you're hand cranking. You're doing a manual espresso, and this is good for like if you don't want to have a fucking espresso machine in your house. This is also good for if you're out and about. If you're my friend went traveling and he brought a AirPress with him. It's a bit of a weird thing to carry around, but he likes his fucking espresso. You get me, sort of thing. So it's good and it serves its purpose. However, you're not going to get a perfect espresso with an AirPress, and also just like home espresso, my same thoughts are applied. If you're not going to make an espresso properly, don't make one. And the AirPress, I understand its capabilities of being portable and using it wherever. However, at home where I make coffee the most, AirPress is not in my rotations. I've tried it just for fun. I've tried it just to see how it works, and it does work. It is alright, but it's an okay sort of thing. It's not for me.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the end of the video, really. I was using my AirPods to record that previous audio. I don't know if this audio is better. Right now on the screen you can see my tier list. As you can see, syrups I didn't talk about, but they are on I Like It because they're good for iced lattes, but I don't typically drink syrups, so I didn't feel like it was worth talking about. Oh yeah, I also said that in video. So yeah, thank you for watching, like and subscribe. If this video gets 2 likes, I will do a sequel to this tier list, and I'll talk about actual like coffee drinks, like lattes, cappuccinos, etc. But yeah, thank you for watching, like and subscribe. Peace.